Well, hello and welcome to our sixth video of the series on how to use some of the most important and widely used Excel features and functions. So far in the series we have covered what a VLOOKUP is, data tables, how to implement conditional formatting, and in our last video we talked and explained how Solver works. And now today we're gonna move on to some if statements and see how useful they could be whenever we're trying to add up certain variables with certain criteria that we've decided to implement. Okay, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I highly recommend them. Everything is following a sequence for the grand finale on pivot tables, so please join me in this awesome journey. Let's get started on what some if statements are. Okay, so right here I have this small table that I have created. I forgot to erase this. We're already cheating, so let me erase that. But here we go. What is the task that we've been assigned this time? It is to determine total expenditure per department, city, and country. Once again, we're working with the same data that we were provided in the very first video. We've worked through several problems and we're gonna use this table down here. This one you could see how we got these values. If you watch the second video on VLOOKUP functions, that's how we estimated the salary per employee and the average project cost with variable hourly rates per department. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using today, just in case. So we need to determine the total expenditure per department. Okay, in this table over here we have the total expenditure per employee. We know how much we're paying John, we know how much we're paying Marcus, and so forth. But now we want to add up. Let's do an example on marketing. So we want to add up this one that over here, marketing, and the one over here, marketing, and this one over here, marketing. Let's do it the traditional way, just to show the importance of some if statements. We could come here and do equals sum, a summation, open parentheses. Which numbers do you want to add up? Let's do it manually first. We've highlighted the marketing ones, so we come to their salary, we select that one, comma. It's kind of hard, you see, like you gotta follow this and make sure you get the right one because we don't want no errors on this, okay? And the last one, that's an easy one. Sarah, thank you for being at the bottom. Enter. Boom. That is how much we've spent in salaries just on the marketing department. Okay? But as you saw, it's a tedious process and there's room for error because you gotta make sure you find the right number over here, and you can get confused with the rows and columns, and nah, it could be just a simple mess. Okay? So let's take a look at what some if function does. I've taken a screenshot over here. So whenever you do equals sum if, that is what's going to be displayed. Range, criteria, and sum range. Let's discuss what each variable is. The range, basically what you're going to select is, oops, let me undo this. Okay, the range is the where, from, we haven't discussed the what am I looking for, but that's what criteria is going to stand for. Criteria is what. Okay, that is the what. What am I looking for? So as you see, the criteria is telling you what am I looking for, and the range instead is where from. Where am I looking for that? And finally, the sum range, it is once I find whatever you told me to look for, what do I do with it? What should I add up? So here's where we have what do I need to add up. Okay, so let's work through this example together and see what happens. First thing, the range. First thing we type sum if, of course, and then range. Where are we gonna be looking for this information? So we go to VLOOKUP, we wanna start looking here in this part right here, because we wanna see the departments that are available and the departments our employees work for. So don't forget, we do F4 just to make that an absolute value, so it won't change. It's not working for some reason right here. Oh, it's not working. My F4 broke. We'll see what happens. But for now, let me do it manually. Okay, awesome. Second part is the criteria. What is it that I'm looking for? So we go to Sumif and I tell Excel, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that one specifically. I'm looking for marketing. But we don't make that an absolute value because remember, we want this to move from row 4 to row 5 and so forth. We want it to go to research and development, sales, accounting, and everything. And the final one is, what do I need to add up? Which one is the range we're looking to add up? As mentioned, that's going to be in the same table, but now it's going to be the salaries they have earned. Let's see if F4 is working. Nope. It decided to be lazy today, so let me do it manually. Right here. Okay, great. Now we can close parentheses and enter, and boom. Now we know how much our marketing department made, and we can copy this down all the way to accounting. Perfect. Now we know how much our departments are making specifically, and we could move on to the same analysis and determine how much are we spending per city or per country if we need to. So the only thing we're gonna change, let me copy this and paste it here. The sum range, it's gonna stay the same. Let me show you here. Oops, here. The sum range, it's gonna be the same, so we don't need to adjust that. But we're not looking for departments anymore, so we're gonna have to adjust the range to match the city range instead. So we're gonna get rid of this one and replace it with this one over here. So let's do that adjustment really quick. We come here, select on the formula. We could do it either way, there's quicker ways to do this, but just for demonstration, we're gonna come here and select the range manually. Dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. Perfect. I'm just making that an absolute value. Enter, and that is how much we spend in London. Let's check Dallas. Okay, we have more employees in Dallas, or we're spending more in Dallas, and so forth. Okay, that is exactly what some if statements are. I hope they made sense, but let me show you how I get this data in a quick and efficient manner. And the way I did this, I'm not gonna finish the one for country, that's homework for you, but the way I did it, for example, I'm gonna select all of the data that I have, Control C, I'm gonna copy it, I come to Sumif, I'm gonna paste it here, and then what am I gonna do? If you notice, I have England, USA, England, Canada, so there's some that are repeating it themselves. So what I could do is I come to data, and this one right here under data tools, it says remove duplicates. I'm gonna click on that one, column E, yep, that's the one, boom. It got rid of 7 duplicates and we're only keeping 3 unique values. So now we can just Control X, Control V, and we could run the sum if analysis once again. But let me show you what we're gonna be covering in our next video really quick, and we're gonna go back actually to VLOOKUP functions, but we're gonna implement data validation just to make our lives better. Over here you can see we have a search bar where now we have a drop down list. If we were to click on this one, we have these options. We have marketing, research and development, sales, and accounting. So if you want to test out one department in particular, we could click on research and development, and boom, we know how much we're spending on that department. So this feature, the drop-down list, it's called data validation. And for the result over here, we're gonna use VLOOKUP as well. So join me for my next video on data validation. I hope everything made sense. If not, please comment below and I will address your questions as soon as possible.